Hello and welcome to the Science Fiction Double Feature podcast, Strayan Films Review, the podcast that knows what a hungry thirsty is. I'm Tim. This is my co-host Terry. Say hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
How are you today?
Yeah, it's been a pretty fun day. I've been playing with some trains, so
Oh, nice.
that's pretty good.
With Pacey, have you been playing with Pacey the
Yes, with Pacey.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. So now that we've talked about some trains, that don't want to wait for our lives to be over, we are going to talk about an Australian film. We're going to talk about the 2010 Australian epic, Animal Kingdom. It stars literally everyone: Jackie Weaver, Ben Mendelsohn, Sullivan Stapleton, Joel Edgerton. Okay, that's and Josh
Guy Pearce.
Freshfield. Guy Pearce is the main guy. Josh Freshfield. It had a very confusing name. No, hang on. I think the character's name is Josh. This is going terrible.
Yeah, Joshua something. Main guy's name is the kid.
And
James Frenchville.
James
that's he. Yeah, that's
okay.
that's the actor.
James Freshfield, who plays Jonathan. He's a sort of a distant member of a Melbourne crime family whose mother dies in a really amazing scene. After of a heroin overdose, and he goes to live with his grandmother and uncles, who are bank robbers, who are the focus of the armed robbery squad in Melbourne at the time, which is not exactly operating within the limits of the law, and things kind of go from there. It's directed by David. I'm not going to get this wrong. David Michôd. I thought it was good, but really long. It could have done with an edit of the script, I think, at one point. It's kind of this. I don't know how you feel about Australian film, but I think there's two things that are like catnip to the Australian film. What is it? The Australian Film Foundation, the funding body, the Australian funding body, and that's crime dramas, cop dramas, and the ennui of the suburbs. And this is both of those things. There's a lot of cops talking like this, and there's a lot of long, lingering shots, distant shots of petrol stations and so forth. Generally speaking, I think it's good. There's a fantastic performance from Jackie Weaver. There's some really tense moments from Ben Mendelsohn. There's some other performance aspects that I'm going to get to. Guy Pearce, I think, is very good, even though he sort of makes a speech at one point. What did you think of Animal Kingdom?
Well, to start with, I'm going to say I'm not the biggest fan of crime dramas, generally. So I wasn't overly keen to see this, but I've heard it's really, really good. The opening scene is fantastic with Joshua's mother dying. How that happens. I love that opening scene, and then he calls up grandma. That's really, really good. From there until probably about halfway through, nothing much happens, and I was pretty bored and really wasn't getting into it. But there is a point, a turning point where it really comes together. And I don't know, we're doing spoilers or not?
It's let's. I'm going to try and talk about it in vague terms. It's a shocking moment that upends what you might expect of the film, and it goes in a different direction to what I guess you would expect. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yes. From there on to the end, I was really engaged in it, really enjoyed it, and I loved the ending of it. Jackie Weaver was probably the standout one. And looking her up today, she actually was nominated for supporting actress, an Oscar for this.
An Oscar. I know it swept the AFIs or whatever they were at the time. That's kind of how I know about it. Wow, that's amazing. But
she was nominated for an Oscar for it, which was really, really good. So yeah, I really loved it. Guy Pearce was pretty cool, and Joel Edgerton. I liked his performance. I didn't notice him at first. He kind of just blended in. But yeah, generally I liked it, but I agree it could have used an edit.
Yeah, it's an hour 52, I think. It's what's that, 110 minutes. It's quite long. And yeah, like just at the script stage, everything that's in there kind of does contribute to the overall story, but it could have been done in a much briefer way, I think. I kind of wandered off at a few moments and just did stuff about the house because I realized it was going to run quite late and didn't really miss out on that much in doing that. Um, yeah, it's good though. It's definitely got some good moments. Sullivan Stapleton, who I only know from being in Hollywood crap. He's been in Frankenstein Unbound and 300 Rise of an Empire for some god awful reason. This is probably the most interesting thing I've seen him done. That would have been quite early in his career. Yeah, it's if you sort of know him as someone who just kind of fights stuff with his abs, he's a lot more interesting here than he is in other works. And who was that? Did you notice that there was someone very very familiar, but probably not who you actually thought it was?
No,
Someone's dad. Someone's dad.
my dad.
Your dad. I don't know if your dad's in Animal Kingdom. There weren't any horses, so I assume not. Clayton Jacobson, who is the writer and one of the writers and the director of Kenny, who looks
Oh yeah,
identical to his brother Shane Jacobson, who we all know as Kenny. Kenny is an iconic Australian film that we should probably watch for this because I've never actually seen it, but it looked really good. He turns up as Josh's girlfriend's dad.
father. I thought it was Shane Jacobson. Actually, I was looking at him going, "Oh, that's that Kenny guy."
And I thought, this is because I think is this from before Kenny? I'm not sure. No, Kenny, I think it was 2008. No, it's his brother, and it looks exactly like him and sounds exactly like Shane Jacobson, but it's a different person. Josh, James Frecheville's performances, I think it's a little bit interesting. He's teens in movies never really feel like actual teens, particularly in teen movies where they're not really supposed to. But generally speaking, they're either too smart or much smarter than any teenager ever has been, or the point is that they're a dumb teenager. Joshua Cody feels like a teen. He's very, very out of place. He's very, very awkward, massively awkward in the positions he's put in. It's really, really effective, I think. For the most part. Having said that, it does open with a horrible. I hated the narration at the very start of the film. It's very distracting. He's got this. I call it Zingerberger acting. Samuel Johnson kind of pioneered this raspy voice in the 90s when he was doing Zingerberger ads off the back of his work in The Secret Life of Art. Where he talks like this, and it's so melodramatic, so affecting. Of course, you've got to say Australian slang. You feel it in your guts. I hate it. I hate it because everyone does it, and that's exactly what this James Frecheville is trying to do through this narration. Even though he's basically a child, it's just god, it's so annoying. Anyway, but yeah, after that, really good as a teen. I thought he was a really convincing teen.
Yes, he was very angsty.
And just so awkward, like horribly awkward at times. My god. Did you like Ben Mendelsohn? Ben Mendelsohn was quite good.
That was the main guy, wasn't
it? The main brother.
Baz.
No, Baz was Joel Edgerton. Pope. Ben Mendelsohn was Pope.
Oh, that's right, Pope. He was quite a villain, quite an antagonist. And you didn't like him. There was no redeeming qualities about him at all. So he's one that you do like to hate. And I loved how it ended. I'm really not going to give anything away because it is quite out of the blue and it hits you. And I really enjoyed it. I'm struggling not to spoil it. So
Yes,
I think
well,
I'll just go shut up now. Yeah,
so I guess
yes. Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again. Um, I've watched it once now, and as I said, crime dramas aren't really my thing. There's only a few that I can really get into, and I don't think even them I've watched more than once. So I liked probably 65% of it, and that was all towards the end. But it's got a great cast and a great performances, but the story's just dragged out, I find.
yeah, I liked about 80% of it because I think the running time should have been 80% of what it was. I'm not gonna watch it again. Not so much because I wouldn't find it interesting, but it's a good chunk of time to have to put aside to watch a movie I've seen and did like, but like unless there's a compelling reason for me to watch it in the future, I'm going to watch something else instead. you if you are interested in, I think this is much better than most Australian dramas I've seen. It's a much more interesting premise, and it does what a lot of Australian film, it does kind of that family drama thing that Australian films are so obsessed with, in a much more interesting way than a lot of movies do, I think. But it is it is very long, and it does drag out, and it does have a ridiculous narration.
Okay, so you said that you won't watch this again mainly because you've seen it. Will you watch the US made Animal Kingdom TV series?
I'm
Did
not.
you know about this?
Is this? Well, only because it keeps coming up when I search Animal Kingdom on IMDb, and I don't. I just assumed it
Mm.
was something unrelated. Is it like an
Nope.
adaptation of this? What is it?
Yep.
Something completely? What?
Yeah, it's inspired by this film. It's
Oh,
so yeah, but the
oh
Americans have
wow, it
made
is.
it.
Oh no, I don't want to watch this. I've
No.
seen. No, it's how long is this? This is like
No, it's only made last year.
oh, this is 21 hour. It's so Animal Kingdom is already long at an hour and 52. This is 21-hour episodes. I'm good. I'm good. It's not going to have Joel Edgerton goading a child to wash his hands correctly. So I'm good. I really like that scene. I thought that was fantastic. Get a lather up. That was magnificent. Oh my god. Um, yes.
There was some humorous moments in it.
It's good. It's got yeah. It's got good. Joel Edgerton is so good at this, and yes, Joel Edgerton is real good in this, and so are other people. But mostly, it's Joel Edgerton and Jackie Weaver. No, it's mostly Jackie Weaver. I should correct myself.
Yeah, it's mostly Jackie Weaver.
It's mostly
Um,
Jackie Weaver, and this is who's in this American thing.
no one.
I mean, Ellen Barkin. Who is Ellen Barkin? Scott Speedman. I thought he was a race car driver.
I thought you were going to say a DC comic person.
No, yeah, okay. So it's the mum from The New Normal is Jackie Weaver's character in the Animal Kingdom adaptation.
Hmm.
Why does this exist? How do they make this 20 hours? Lord. Um, I'd recommend the movie over this because it's shorter.
And probably
Uh,
better.
and well, I mean, it's briefer. I mean, that's pretty good.
Ah,
So,
I think we should stop now before we become the Animal Kingdom podcast of the Animal Kingdom that goes on for a long time but
for too
doesn't say
long.
much.
Right. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Animal Kingdom, generally pretty good, but long and meandering. If you want to read our blog, we're at sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. You can find us at Facebook at facebook.com/sfdf. We're on Twitter, facebook.com/sfdf movie reviews. SFDF movie reviews.
Correct.
We're on Twitter at SFDF Movie Review, singular. You can find us, if you just want to listen to the podcast, you can find us at soundcloud.com/SFDF, wherever good SoundClouds are found. You can find us on iTunes, just search SFDF on iTunes. If you want to email us, you can get to us at inspace.no-one-can-eat-ice-cream@gmail.com. And if you want links to all these things, as well as other good stuff, they're down the right side of the main blog, which again is sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. All right, sounds about it from us. I'm going to go and have a shower, and Terry's probably going to go and do baby things. I guess say goodbye, Terry.
Let's be specific there and say I'm not doing baby things. I've got babies that I'm doing things.
Things for babies, not.
Yes, I'm not putting on a diaper or anything.
Well, you mean babies can't put on their own nappies?
I suppose. I have to get the missus to do it for me. I don't know. Anyway.
You're not going to pull around and spew on stuff and scream.
No.
Not planning to, anyway. All right. Yes. Okay. So that's about it. Do you want to say goodbye, Terry?
Goodbye, Terry.
Okay. We'll see you next time. Bye.